For today's video, I'll speak about my round 5 review for Supercoach 2021. We scored 2,238 and we're into rank 111. So even though the score is okay, we actually had a pretty poor week. All our pods failed, and what's kept our score healthy was the fact that we didn't have Ridley, who was killing us every week. So he really was concussed at around quarter time, so super unlucky if you had Ridley, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not why I'm 111 rank and not 250 rank. So it's a terrible part of the game, but not much can be done about it. When there's no point celebrating it, it's be pretty stupid to do so. But I remember I had Bailey Smith last year, and it was just pretty painful week. And Bailey Smith got concussed on 3 points, I think. So it happens, and it's just, I hate it, but just how the game is. We'll get stuck into the team. But that's pretty significant for my rank, and getting Ridley a little bit cheaper now that his break-even's 200. But I feel very dirty because he was a bad miss. So our team has a little bit of upside because Jordan Clark on the bench, and then 200k in the bank. So essentially, if Clark was a rookie, we've pretty much had like 400k unused. So, or 300 to 400k. So we can use that this week. So if some of our pods bounce back, hopefully, and then we use this money, should have a much better week next week, but we'll see. So our defense, Lloyd and Laird, there's not much to say on either. Laird had a bit of an AC joint problem, but it was just a small knock, so that's fine. And then Short. With Jaden Short, I'm not too worried on him, just because the ball wasn't in the defensive half at all for Richmond. So, slightly concerned with Short. Not slightly, I think I'm fine. Just because you see, Stuart and Ryan, proven guys that score in just about every possible way. Just do really, really well. And then Short's a little bit less proven. So it's not too worried, just because, no Richmond players scored over 80 that game, and it was a flogging. So the Saints couldn't get the ball forward at all. So, So I said I was slightly worried. I'm not really worried on Short. Jack Bowes, though, I missed the game. Saturday I was out cold pretty much for the day. I had like a 24-hour flu or something. So the day before I went to the dentist, put the anesthetic in my mouth to do the filling, and then started like shivering when I got home, which is a little bit weird. And then turned out to be like a 24-hour flu. So I have a bit of a sore throat, so I can't really talk properly either. But it came good this morning, so a little bit better. But the point is, I missed the game, and not only that, we traded James Jordan instead of Jordan Clark because we were that out of it. We just did our trades and fell asleep. So bit annoying, but that's fine. But anyway, back to Jack Bowes. So I had a few people DM me saying, "Oh, George, what happened to Jack Bowes? Are you trading him?" Like, of course I'm not going to trade him. So should we be concerned if you got in Jack Bowes? Not yet, but still, because he's unproven, I'm always going to be slightly concerned. So with Bowes, I can probably speak 3 minutes on Bowes, but there's a really good article in the preseason saying, he's taking a leadership role down back. This is his first full preseason training in defense, and there's more kickouts for him. With the Dogs seem to hog all the Supercoach points, so there's that, and Bowes scored a lot of his points in junk time. So didn't get much scaling for those points. So not worried just yet, but, because he's unproven, I'm always going to be a little bit worried. Lukosius did take a few kick-ins, so it does sound like he lost a few kick-ins. When Ballard comes in, maybe that pushes Lukosius back up the wing, up to the wing a bit more. I know Lukosius kind of played everywhere, but he was down back at times, whereas in previous weeks he's barely been down back, so I'm not sure if that was a factor, but I missed the game. And we'll reassess in a few weeks with Bowes. We can't trade him. We need to get the good rookies in, and then get them off the field as well. And then Giath, 72. So we paid 330 for Giath, so he's already made 90k, and he's keeping rookies off the field. And another thing with these cheaper players that are keeping rookies off the field, even though they might not be the most efficient way of making money, because it's easier for rookies to make money. We keep rookies off the field, and we don't have to play rookie roulette. And there's an off chance for Giath and Atkins, who played really poorly today, to be keepers. So will they be keepers? I mean, it's unlikely, but it's possible. We'll see how GF goes. One off game, I guess. Probably should have scored less than 70, to be honest, but that's fine. And then Heath Chapman we brought in so we didn't have to lay butts on field, and because Chapman felt like a negative pod, that would have damaged me a fair bit. But yeah, next few games at Optus, so no dramas with Heath Chapman. Keep fielding him. And then Butts has been fantastic. Hopefully he can make a bit more money and just really solid cover, even though he'll drop those terrible scores, but hopefully it's not when he has to be fielded. And then Highmore, fingers crossed he comes back with the Saints defenders in playing horrifically. Mostly Webster, who's injured. Ben Long was terrible, and McKenzie was also terrible. So maybe that opens the door for Highmore. We'll see. And yeah, the midfield. So paying up for Steele, McRae, and Oliver has worked really well. Even though Oliver, he had that 1.5 games he got tagged, I think. So that's fine. Steele gave away really poor 50 and a free kick. So I think he lost like 10, 15 points. So that's fine. Only reason I would be slightly worried about Steele is St Kilda look pretty terrible at the moment, but I think they have enough talent to make a run for the top 8, but they don't look near it at the moment. And then McRae, probably M1 for the year, loves playing Gold Coast. We captained Gawn, so really we should have vice-captained McRae, but that's fine, it happens. So yeah, got very lucky with Gawn, because really we should have been punished for not vice-captaining McRae, but I guess we just take it. I had a bit of luck this year, so probably will end soon. And then Oliver was fine. Didn't take a whole lot of notice of Oliver, to be honest, but seemed to be better in the first half. And then Merritt, good to get some decent return from Merritt, who's been slightly underwhelming, but now 130, we take that. Errol Gordon's okay. I think we just keep fielding him. I don't really want to trade him just yet, because we know he can score. He's got big scores in him. And then Power's looking like a really nice rookie, so just keep fielding him. And then I'm probably going to trade Berry this week. His break-even's like 40. I don't see... Maybe you should have traded Berry over Jordan, for example. But with Jordan, there was just so much doubt over his time on ground. Maybe 4 disposals last week. So it's whatever. Viney back in the team, stuff like that. I'm happy to trade Berry, though, because his ceiling seems pretty atrocious. Just not accumulating at all, but playing okay, and I'm pretty sure he'll just keep holding his spot. So that's fine. And then fortunately we had Scott as our E, and he got us a 60 when Clark was dropped. Don't ask me. I don't understand how Clark gets dropped. I thought he was playing okay, was kicking goals, providing run, being played out of position as well, doing his job, and he gets dropped. So I don't know what Chris Scott's deal is, but that was part of the Jordan Clark pick. Always some job security issues, but I think we'll get rid of him just because he's a sub-risk going forward, and that means it's potential to lose more money. But I do wonder at some point if he plays halfback. Because I think if they put him there, I don't think they'll take him out of there, but we'll see. He's too versatile, I guess, for his own good. And then Gordon Grundy, yeah, Captain Gordon Grundy, great. If you have Flynn, R2 or Hickey, you're in trouble now. I was in that position last year with Naismith and Segler and Pittner. It was just an absolute nightmare. And yeah, it's probably the best lesson I learnt last year was when we're in the era of Gordon Grundy, just don't play with it. So yeah, clearly R1 and R2, so that's fine. Dunkley, clearly F1, although Zeeble could actually threaten him with the amount of kick-ins he's getting. So yeah, Zeeble, he's keeper basically until he gets injured. If he does, had like 3 hamstrings last year or something. Impey looks every bit of a keeper to me. The more I watch him play, the more I really like the way he plays. They give him the ball a lot, provides run and carry, defends really well. I'm a fan of Impey. He's a really good player. Now, Tom Atkins, this is a weird one. I did recommend him on the pod because he pretty much put together, including the preseason games, 6 games in a row where he accumulated a lot, won a lot of contested ball and played pretty well, despite having a few errors here and there. And he was averaging 92 whilst also giving away 11 frees and getting 0 frees for. So one bad game doesn't cause for alarm bells, but if he puts another few bad games together, does that mean he loses his spot? Not sure. So I did recommend him on the podcast. I no longer recommend him after this. Just because 6 out of 7 games have been good. So not too worried just yet. Given what we paid for him, we'll just keep fielding him for as long as possible. But maybe he's not the keeper at F6 we were hoping for. But it's important, he's been okay so far. It's just one bad game, but a few more bad games, then I'll be really worried. But should just hold value and, keep a Waterman off the field. And then Warner we hold to the buys, I think. He's allowed to have an off game. He's been fantastic for us. And Jimmy Rowe's been pretty good for us. We fielded some of his bad scores, but we've also fielded some of his good scores. So we take those. Plays in Tassie this week, and for some reason that worries me slightly, but that's fine. And then Waterman. With Waterman, I think felt like he was a must-have because of his price and not so much his price, just because his break-even was really low, and Ben Rutten said that he was an important part of their 22. So I think he still plays. Surely Rutten doesn't backflip on that. But I think he was a victim of the circumstances. So Brisbane flogged Essendon. It was wet, and I think they played a few too many tolls in the wet. So maybe a selection issue there for Essendon, for the Bombers. But shown he can kick a few goals. So one bad game, surely he doesn't get dropped off that. And Essendon have a fair few injuries. So fingers crossed he holds his spot. I think he does. I'd be pretty surprised if something happened there. And then also, I forgot to touch on Matthew Flynn. Played really well in the VFL, NEFL, whatever it is now. So, and sounds like Mumford's not playing this week based on what Liam Cameron said. So, hopefully another few price rises out of Flynn would be great. So that's the team. Trades for this week. We'll trade Giordano Clark for Berry, led to the mids. We'll grab Lockie Jones. Oh, where is he? Am I blind? Maybe we'll just type it in. Oh, hang on. Lachlan Jones, okay. Jones, and then the midfielder, we can't afford Neil. I'll speak about Neil before I finish the video, so after this trade. We'll go for Sam Walsh. So Sam Walsh, I think, has done enough to be proven. Look, I've already traded in Bose, who's unproven, so plus I have Atkins and Giath and not Bose. Just Atkins and Giath, I guess. And even Short, 95 average last year, I think, but still think he's premium, not worried. With Walsh, I think he's done enough because while I do prefer players in a better age bracket, which to me is like 22, 23 to 29, that sort of range, he's so much further ahead than every other 20-year-old. And yeah, when he was averaging, first in his junior years, averaging a lot more than pretty much everyone in his draft year. Him and Bailey Smith, like 170 average or something in NAB League, something like that. First year, 85. Barely anyone averages 85 in the first year. Second year, 100. Barely everyone averages 100. So he's just far more advanced. So it feels like he's like 22, 23, but he's actually 20. He's just ahead of everyone in development. So we'll go for Sam Walsh. And we can't afford Neil. So one of the issues with Neil is... So it looks like Neil is... we'll just fix this on-field setup. So I think I'm happy with this setup. Rowe, it's still weak at F6, but we can sort that out in a few weeks. We can still loophole. I don't think we can loophole this week, but that's fine. So with Lockie Neal, if I can just get this right. So with Lockie Neal, he said this week that he trained fully for the first time, and he said last week that he's getting better every week. So I feel like he might cop a Kerno tag and just see how he goes 2 weeks in a row. Just because, I doubt that back issue's completely gone. Maybe just felt really good on the day. But Lockie Neal could be a priority trade in ASAP. I think we're going to end up getting him after his bye. But yeah, I just want a little more clarity over his fitness, even though he played unbelievably well. 38 touches, 2 goals. But yeah, given the fact that I'm not sure he's 100% fit yet and he plays Kerno this week, even though he'll probably score really well, just for that bit more assurance, give it another week to assess. But he could be a guy that we have to get in ASAP, and maybe we have to hold off to the buys and end up paying like, I don't know, 630, 640 for him. But yeah, I think if Lockie Neal gets back to his best and we don't have him, we need to get him in ASAP. at like almost any cost. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you guys soon.